Right now at 6, they were promised a deal,
Buy a car here, it's real easy. One price, no haggle.
but received a dud.
Do not do it. Run away from these people at all costs.
After receiving several complaints about Carvana, Contact Denver 7 steps in.
Does Colorado need to take action?
Colorado needs to immediately stop them from doing business and investigate.
A beloved boxing club owner left to die in the street.
He give you the shirt off his back, you know what I mean? He was always there for you.
Tonight, the boxing community mourns the man who provided a safe space for all.
I've heard a lot of people at the gym say that he had turned their life around.
Plus, we have details on the first potential bidder to buy the Broncos. Good evening, and thank you for watching Denver 7 News at 6. I'm Ann Trujillo.
I'm Shannon Ogden. Carvana dubs itself as an easy way to buy a used car, but based on complaints coming in to Contact Denver 7, it is anything but.
Contact Denver 7's Jacqueline Allen looked into their claims to see what can be done to protect car buyers.
You might have heard of Carvana and that we sell cars online.
Carvana ads promise the online car buying of the future.
We're in trouble.
But James Cunningham has a story about the recent past.
Save $4,000 on a car? Yes, I'm going to do that every time.
Back then, Carvana seemed like a steal.
Walk up to the car, and from 50 feet away, I can see it's been wrecked.
He says undisclosed damage was just the start.
I paid them $25,920.20 and never got any documentation that I own the car. No title.
For months, he tried to get his title so he could legally drive it.
I sent them the paperwork once, twice, 5 times. They kept on saying, we don't have your paperwork.
Colorado law requires car dealers issue titles within 30 days, but that doesn't apply for online dealerships based out of state, like Carvana.
Do not get a car here. They are bold-faced liars.
James knows he's not alone thanks to Facebook groups with hundreds of unhappy Carvana customers.
Carvana strikes again.
Across the country, those customers are telling their stories.
They can't tag it. What are we doing? Why aren't you fixing this?
Contact Denver 7 did some digging and found Carvana has already been fined for similar registration issues in California, Texas, Michigan, North Carolina, and Florida. The Better Business Bureau also reporting thousands of customer complaints. Carvana's presence is growing in Colorado. They're building an 8-story car vending machine here in southeast Denver. Does Colorado need to take action?
Colorado needs to immediately stop them from doing business and investigate.
Colorado Auto Industry Division has investigated several complaints about Carvana in the last year. Most have been closed with no violations found.
I finally begged them to give me a refund.
After fighting 7 months, James returned his car and got a refund. Carvana has already relisted it, he says, with the wrong mileage.
That's curious. Maybe they drove it backwards.
In a statement to Contact Denver 7, Carvana did not respond to that allegation, but said they were working with the customer, a customer who sees a different kind of car buying in his future.
Run away from these people at all costs.
For Contact Denver 7,
buy local. Saving money sometimes costs you money.
I'm Jacqueline
and
Allen.
It did this case.
And late tonight, Jacqueline received a response from the state about this. They say Colorado law only applies to sales in our state. So if the sale is online and the origin of the car is from a different state, the same laws do not apply. So it is so important to do your homework, research where this car is originally sold from.
And Carvana is not just growing here in Denver, it's growing across our state. This week, Carvana launched in Pueblo. And in a statement, Carvana's founder and CEO says Colorado customers have embraced the ease of buying a car and they expect it to be no different in southern Colorado. If you have experienced problems with Carvana, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach out to us by calling the number on your screen, or you can always email us, contact7@thedenverchannel.com.
Mesa County Clerk of Courts Tina Peters was detained and released by Grand Junction Police today. Now, police were carrying a search warrant for Peters' iPad. Now, the DA's office believes Peters may have recorded a court hearing yesterday afternoon, which is prohibited. And this picture was released from yesterday's hearing. And you can see Peters there behind the attorneys with what appears to be a white iPad perched on the bar there. Now, the courts say they want to review any video, deleted or not, to determine if Peters was in fact recording the proceeding. Peters was attending a hearing for a burglary and cybercrime case against her former deputy clerk.
Right now, Douglas County School Board is meeting for the first time since firing Superintendent Corey Wise. This is a study session, so no decisions should be made. And we still have not heard from the conservative majority who voted to get rid of Wise. However, Board President Mike Peterson and Board Member Kaylee Winigar spoke on Fox News Sunday.
He made some choices that divided our community back in the early stages when we had mask mandates. He went really hard on them. He did kind of create an environment that pitted teachers against parents.
Strikes are not the way to make things happen. Walkouts, sickouts are not in support of learning. If that's the direction we're heading and this becomes a union issue, and the superintendent's not actively fighting back or pushing against that and getting the proper relationship restored, that's a place we couldn't go.
There is currently a petition to recall members of Douglas County School Board. An official recall cannot happen until 6 months after members are elected into office.
It feels like a Denver boxing coach was an inspiration to everybody who walked through his gym's doors. And this weekend, he was getting out of an Uber in Denver when he was hit by another car, and that car just took off. Denver 7's Patrick Perez live tonight. And Patrick, a growing memorial tonight at that boxing club where Joaquin Romero coached.
Yeah, Shannon, that memorial has really been growing the whole day. You can tell just how loved and adored Joaquin was based on all of these flowers and these candles that we've seen here. This is at DETAINED Boxing Club off of Alameda and Clay here in Denver, by the way. He has clearly made a lasting impact. A normally bustling boxing club in Denver, now the site of a growing memorial as people remember its owner.
His life was really built on his gym.
Oscar Romero says his son Joaquin was killed in front of his home on Elliott Street early Sunday morning by a hit-and-run driver. He had just stepped out of an Uber when a driver hit him and left him to die.
It's kind of surreal. I can't believe that he's gone yet.
Joaquin owned DETAINED Boxing Club on Alameda and Clay.
My goal is to provide a home for anyone to train in a fun, safe environment through the sport of boxing.
A goal that started in his garage and quickly became reality.
I've heard a lot of people at the gym say that he had turned their life around when they were in low spots in their life.
News of Joaquin's death devastated those who arrived for classes Monday night, including JANINA, Schubert's 14-year-old son.
He was close to his coach, but he would not say much. All he had was his big eyes wide open, and he was just kind of shocked.
Denver police say this Hummer, seen here in this Crime Stoppers flyer, may have been involved in a hit and run. A Hummer matching its description with the same white cover on the driver's side passenger window was seen escaping police Monday. Moments later, it crashed near the corner of Colfax and Perry. Denver police haven't confirmed if it was the same Hummer in the flyer. However, in a tweet, DPD says it found the Hummer and arrested the driver on charges of motor vehicle theft and vehicular eluding. The investigation into whether the driver and Hummer were involved in a hit and run is still underway.
I'm trying to hang in there for everybody.
Oscar is focused now on making funeral arrangements for Joaquin and determining the future of his boxing club.
It's going to be hard to replace him. But yeah, we do want to keep the gym going.
And it's clear Joaquin's clients will keep coming back.
We don't want to run away.
Even after his death.
And a GoFundMe for Joaquin has raised more than $40,000, I should say, but no doubt it's probably going to reach $60,000 just because of how much this community really loves him. If you'd like to donate, we have a link to it on our website, thedenverchannel.com. For now, we're live in Denver. I'm Patrick Perez. Denver 7.
Yeah, clearly he was well loved. Thank you, Patrick. The family of Devon Bailey has reached a $3 million settlement with the city of Colorado Springs. That 19-year-old was shot and killed by police in 2019. And his death sparked protests against the excessive force used by police. As part of the settlement, the city says it is committed to more police training and changing policy. The family's attorney says that portion of the settlement is critical.
The city's persistent denial that they did anything wrong shows exactly why this training that is mandated in our settlement is so necessary. If they continue to bury their heads in the sand, it will just happen again and again and again.
The officers who shot Bailey were later found to be acting in self-defense.
Healing takes time.
This homecoming really signifies a momentous milestone in our healing journey.
For Boulder, that journey takes another step forward tomorrow.
40s and 50s today, but I do have a 60 in the 7-day.
Plus, a Colorado tradition hits the streets again for the first time in 3 years.
I think we're just all excited that we get to do this thing again.